Hello, everyone from Chelsea Fan TV. Hope we're all doing very well. Welcome back to another live. We've got a preview today. We are previewing the Arsenal game, which is taking place tomorrow, as well as addressing all of the latest Chelsea news. And believe it or not, actually, there's been more going on than you'd expect. There was a quiet period for about a week, and I think it's livened up quite a bit. I mean, first of all, we had the player from Sporting Lisbon, Giovanni Quenda, and it seems we've signed another player. We've signed Dario Isugu as well, so we're going to be talking about him. But yeah, we will touch on Arsenal as well, obviously. Where do we start, guys? I don't even know where to go with this.
Might as well talk about Isugu, to be honest. That's the biggest news of the day.
True. That's very relevant. I mean, let me just say this. Do you guys know anything about him?
Yeah, I know he's a Caicedo sort of prototype. And to be honest, I'm not really annoyed about this transfer. I was annoyed about the other ones, but not really this one. I actually think it's pretty good for us.
Why?
Because you need options.
Yeah,
options. He's not playing for us for 2 years.
No, he's going
to be in the first.
Coming this summer.
He's going to be in the first team.
Yeah. The Isugu's coming this summer. Quenda's coming in 2026. Isugu is coming this summer.
Okay.
That's why I was annoyed about the other ones, not this one.
Because if you look at it, right, you need with next season, right? You're going to be competing on 4 fronts. Plus, this summer there's a Club World Cup as well, right? Which makes it an unusual season. You're going to need options. You got Enzo Fernandez, Caicedo, Lavia. And then you add in Andre Santos coming back, and you add in Isugu. That's your 5 midfielders, right? You can't rely on Lavia to be fit, so you need an option. Isugu's a genuine rotation for Caicedo, and Andre Santos is viewed as a rotation for both Lavia and Enzo Fernandez, because he can play sort of a 6 role, and he can do an advanced 8 role as well. You need the options at the end of the day. You know, that's because otherwise you end up in a situation where you're just running these guys into the ground. You need those options. So I haven't got a problem with this. It's a Caicedo type profile. Yes, he's not played an awful lot of football. I think he's played 25 games for Sporting, 17 games on loan for Las Palmas this season, but he's a Caicedo profile of midfield player, and that's something we lack in the squad.
Right. Okay. I'll be real. I've never heard of this guy. I find it very hard to judge anything to do with this player, but I mean, his market value is about 8 million. How much did we pay for him?
About 18.
20 million euros.
Okay, another inflated transfer, if we're being honest.
I think it's an inflated transfer. I mean, that transfer mark for values is a bit. I wouldn't use that as a good idea. 20 million euros.
I mean, well, when you look at it, though, I mean, I do think that's. Well, you just said it yourself, Charlie. The guy has played 17 games this season. He's got 1 goal. How old is he?
20. He was 20 yesterday.
Well, at least he turned 20 yesterday. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, he's starting. I'm just looking at some of the stuff now. He's starting about 65-70% of the games available, right? I mean, look, it's depth, isn't it? Of course it's depth, but we've got bloody... Sorry. When we say... He's not coming... No, he can't come now. Of course he can't.
Next season.
He'll be here for the Club World Cup.
Will he be here for the Club World Cup?
I think so, yeah.
We've got...
Maybe about halfway through.
Nkunku, we've got Santos. We've got a lot of midfield depth.
Mate, Ugo
like when the players come back from loan as well.
Yeah, Ugo will be sold. Dewsbury Hall's gone. Amugu will go on loan to Strasbourg as a Santos replacement, and then you left with your 5 of Enzo, Caicedo, Lavia, Santos, and Isugu. You need 5.
I mean,
that's not a bad move.
Is he better than Ugo?
Find out.
We'll find
out. I'll be real.
Chelsea are the epitome of fuck around and find out. We are the epitome of that.
Well, I don't know if he's better than Ugo or not, but ultimately you need 5 midfield options, and now we've got 5 good options in midfield covering all the different profiles. Now we just got to see. Now we just got to make sure that we put the rest of the team together properly and address what we need in the summer. Like, I don't mind this signing, but if you then don't go and sign what we need in the summer, then I've got a problem with it.
Yeah, I mean,
same thing as me, Charlie, man. Exactly the same thing.
I mean,
like, this is fine for now, but you've spent about 70 million already. I wasn't hearing excuses for the end for this window regardless, because we know what we need to get. Now I'm hearing even less.
It's mad, isn't it, right? How we didn't do anything in January, and then just randomly in mid-March, we dropped 70 million euros on 2 signings.
Begs belief. Now I'd also assume that we have spoken about Gyökeres too, so
you think so. But again, people saying
spoken about how many players with them.
Yeah, but people saying, "Oh, why haven't you got Gyökeres?" It's like, well, to start with, right? Gyökeres is not going to agree to a transfer in mid-March. He's going to be assessing his options because he'll have the biggest clubs in Europe after him, and he's not going to agree to join Chelsea when there's no guarantee of Champions League football this next season. Like, so you're never going to get a player. You're never going to agree like massive transfers out of season. It's just not going to happen.
So yeah, no chance, unless we're giving him some mad sign-on fee that we wouldn't do anyway, because we already know we're like trying to be, we're trying to be smart financially and everything. So yeah, well, maybe it just doesn't fit what we're looking for. I know we want someone that's going to dominate in the air. I don't think he's like that sort of striker. So maybe just don't fit what we need, because we know we need a striker with aerial threat.
Yeah, no, we do. Look, this signing, I haven't got a problem with this signing. No problem. But I think what you'll find as well, like with the Club World Cup across June and July, it makes the summer a bit of a strange one. Like, I think you'll notice a lot of teams trying to do their business early before the Club World Cup starts, because you need to get them players into the squad, because with the Club World Cup, there's not really going to be like a proper pre-season. So if you can get deals done early and get business done early and get these players in, that's going to be a big bonus, because that tournament does proper disrupt preparations for the season.
I'm still trying to figure out when these players are
I'm not going to lie. I'm not convinced at all. I don't understand this. The guy's, what's he done? Why are we signing this guy?
Because we need options.
He's not a starter.
And he's not a starter as well, exactly.
Why don't you just keep Ugachukwu? Why do we have to sign? He's not even that good.
No, I think what you'll
20 million for what?
No, I think this will be a good signing. Now, the Ugachukwu thing is interesting. Because okay, you could certainly argue that, and I think that's absolutely a fair point. But maybe Chelsea don't see Ugachukwu as right. I'm not really sure. But what I would say is Isugu could probably benefit from another loan spell, but he's not going to go. He's not. They're not going to send him and Amugu to Strasbourg. And look, the plan is for him to be part of the first team. Now, of course, that plan could change. But as Lewis said, he's not going to be a starter. He's a genuine alternative to Caicedo. He's that Caicedo profile. And it's another option in the squad that we didn't previously have in terms of a Caicedo profile.
And also, all we want Ugachukwu back for is depth. Let's keep it real. So, if we were to bring in Isugu for what, like 18, 20 million, we end up selling Leslie for what, 30, 40? Who gives a damn?
And how much should we pay for Leslie?
23 million? 23 million.
It was like 12, no?
No, Ugachukwu was about 23 mil.
Yeah, so we'll look to sell them at around like fucking 30 or something like that.
I mean,
so
from a business
who cares? Because all we're
perspective,
talking is for depth. We're not talking for someone who's going to be starting week in and week out. So
exactly.
don't really care too tough. Leslie will end up getting sold, or he might be part of the depth too. Whatever happens, it's about having the available bodies needed.
I think Maresca likes Ugochukwu with that. I mean, we saw him play plenty in pre-season. He scored goals in that system. He was able to play slightly further up the pitch.
If you liked him, he wouldn't be on loan.
Fair point as well.
I mean, I'm not. I don't know, man. I mean, I can't judge Maresca's player ID in terms of what he likes to play. The guy didn't want Petrovic in that case, and that says enough for me. But I don't know, mate. I don't. I can understand. I mean, we're competing with a lot of other clubs for what's his name, Quenda,
yeah.
Quenda. Like, we were competing with Bayern Munich and United, and I'm like, okay, we still paid an inflated fee. 40 million is a lot for someone who's 17. But I could accept the fact that we beat other top clubs to him. I think that the fact that we're being proactive is a good thing. There's nothing wrong with that. If you're getting all of the top talents in Europe and around the world, then there's something to be taken from it. Then the question is, are you going to mix that with any form of experience? So we've signed 2 players within the past couple of days, and both of them were under the age of 20. You just said that whatever this guy is, and Isugu, he just turned 20 yesterday, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. For me, this doesn't give me confidence going into next season. It doesn't give me confidence. This is purely a profit play. This is not a footballing decision. I don't see why you spend money on this player. If you're going to offload Ugochukwu, fine. But that just seems like this is the phase we're going to continue to go down again and again and again. You're going to buy him. You're going to flip him for 30. You're going to bring someone else in, flip them again.
But it's not that deep as long as we get the other areas sorted. That's why this summer there's less excuses now based on this move. But for now, it's just depth. But also really be depressed about.
But I also think, like, when we're looking at,
I'm not depressed, Lewis. I just don't have any. I don't have any faith in our management.
What?
No, but do you know what? Right, there's certain things, right, where I'll be annoyed about, and it's when we're dropping that sort of money on random kids in Brazil that have barely kicked a ball. But if we're signing your Estevals, your Paezes, your Quendas, like top talents in their age group in the world, Isugu falls into a similar bracket in terms of, midfielders sort of around 21 and under. In Lavia, Santos, and Isugu, we have got 3 of the best midfielders in that age bracket. And also, he's not coming in to be a starter. And you finally don't have to run Caicedo into the ground anymore. You've got a genuine alternative for Caicedo now. So, look, I don't look at this as a bad thing. But again, as I've said, if you don't address stuff in the summer, then it's an issue. But this in isolation, I haven't got an issue with it.
Big up. Well, fair enough. I mean, what do you think in the chat as well, guys? I know, Lewis, you've got a big fan. Varna says you're the face. You are a face.
So mad. I'm used to being a heel.
What's it? You are the Cody Rhodes. You are the Cody Rhodes
wrestling thing.
Yeah, usually I'm more like the Miz or like, I don't know, Kevin Owens
okay.
or something.
I know the Miz. I know the Miz.
We'll take a little face run. Fuck it. Get some cheers.
Who's face?
Faces are good guys in wrestling. Heels are bad guys.
Oh, I'm the heel then. Okay.
You've turned heel, mate, apparently.
Yep.
I was wondering, what was the heel? Fair enough. Okay. I haven't watched WWE for ages, man. I used to be really into that.
Mate, have you seen
the best era I've seen ever?
I went to Monday Night Raw when I was younger. I saw Mark Henry versus John Cena in a world.
Mark Henry, what a guy!
Yeah, I saw Mark Henry CM Punk back in 2012. That's a fucking throwback.
Jesus.
Big up, Mark.
What else has Pies said about this guy? There's been a couple of updates as well. He's a ball winner who has fighting qualities. Brilliant. Glad that we've identified someone with fighting qualities. We could use that. Apparently, there's no chance that Chelsea will listen to summer bids for Andre Santos. That is positive news. To be quite honest, I actually believe that. So that's a positive.
And
I hope
Jacobs
the
is
same.
related to one of the consortium owners, so fair as I hear it.
Oh, Jonathan Goldstein. Yes.
Yeah.
What
Funnily
you hear-
enough,
you
he's
hear-
related to one of. Funny enough, he's related to someone I went to uni with.
What, Ben Jacobs?
No. Fucking Jonathan Goldstein. One of it. I think someone in his family went to my uni. Fucking
No way.
small world. I never knew until after he took over.
Fair.
I should message him, tell him sign some older players.
I think he follows our Twitter account, mate. Does that make me a brown
Oh,
envelope?
you can DM him yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, sign some players. Well, you already have. Sign some older players.
When I'm really pissed off, I'll message Daniel Finkelstein, but I get these bullshit replies, mate. So I'm over it. He's a politician, right?
Yeah, but to be fair though, what response
Your
you
concerns
expecting?
have been logged.
Well, I don't know, Charlie. Like when I message him, I'm emotional. I'm not like I'm not looking for a chat.
This is going to sound a bit weird. We met him in the toilets, didn't we? I mean,
yes, we did. Yeah.
we did, yeah.
Yeah, we met him in the toilet. Me and Charlie, we went for a piss in was it Oxford or something like that?
Yeah, mate, coming back from some loss.
We were talking about the team,
and then we bumped into him in the toilets. Yeah, we had a chat about
the
team.
He was like,
piss.
"You boys are Chelsea fans." And we were like, "Yeah." And then we
bit
saw him outside Connor Kai not long after.
Yeah, bit strange, but there we go. But yeah, now, mate, the Santos one, I do believe. I want to believe it, but there's just still a small part of me that knows that if a massive offer came in, they'd be very tempted, and that's why I just can't fully get behind this Santos thing until the window's closed and he's actually still here.
I hear it. It's a leap of faith with these lot. Like, if you lot sell Santos, then there's no faith at all.
I'll be honest. I don't have any faith. I don't have any faith based on what
I
I've
already
seen.
have a little, very.
You got to look at the financials. The financials don't add up, mate. They don't add up. The debt is fucked. The debt that we're going to accumulate. You look at the debt that we've got purely from Aries Capital, mate. That's 500 million. It's going to be 1.7 billion when we pay it off. So what you have to remember is that Clearlake obviously want to make a profit. And any losses that are made because of the types of shares that are in with Bowley and Clearlake, etc. Basically, any losses that are made on the sale of the club, Bowley takes the losses, not Clearlake. Okay, so Bowley's not going to sign off to anything that loses him money, because any deal that happens within the next sort of 10 years or whatever has to be signed off by all of them. They're a hedge fund. They probably want to triple their money, right? In fact, I've written this down. I'm going to read it to you because I had a person contact me who basically told me all about it. I think you might have met him at the protest, Charlie. I think did you meet that guy? He was talking about all the numbers and everything like that.
No, I didn't meet anyone that spoke about numbers at the protest.
Mate, I met this guy and he fucking educated me, like properly educated me. Is this the right one? It's the wrong fucking one. But basically, we've got so much debt that in order to actually make any money on selling the club, that we would have to value Chelsea at 9 billion in order to sell it in 2033 and make a profit and also pay off our debts as well. So that's the 1.7 billion for Aries Capital. You've got to pay back the banks as well, which is about 700 million. That's got interest as well, which is about 7%. Man, it's fucked. It's ridiculous. The thing is, they'll load the debt onto the club from the banks, but they can't load any of the debt from Aries Capital because it's private equity. So Aries Capital basically get paid before anyone else. So when we sell, no, but this is what I see. I don't get this. Alex, the account, it's not your money. It is my money. Because I will have to pay higher season ticket prices. You will have to pay higher season ticket prices. Membership prices will go up. Merchandise will go up. Everything will get more expensive. So it affects everyone. What we'll see is that these guys are going to do anything to meet their quota. And we see there's a 30% increase in Hospitality, for example, next season, Steve Charlie always interrupts your interviews. He's not renewing. He's not renewing in hospitality because it's 30% that's going up by. He said I might have to go in a different seat. It's just, mate, I don't have any faith with this ownership. I really don't. That in terms of the financials, what they're doing, the fact that we're not signing it enough experience. We signed pockets, mate. Even like Pedro Neto. I'm going to use that as an example. That's something, but it's not enough. It's not enough. I'm sorry.
And the free tossing and all that. I hear it.
I actually wasn't too fussed with tossing, mate. We didn't spend any money on him, and he's a good player. He's not a great player. He's a good player. The problem is if you're only signing Tosin, then you've got a problem. But I trust Tosin in this Chelsea team over Fofana.
Tosin's all right, but we want
fit.
What?
Well, at least he can stay fit, Lewis.
Oh, I thought you mean like in terms of ability, you trust him.
No, I won't have that argument.
Okay.
No, Fofana's obviously better, but
if you're saying availability, then I mean, yeah, you ain't wrong.
But availability is the best ability, mate. And that's the way I see it. And we don't have.
So a man like Havertz and Mount, they had all the availability and none of the ability.
Havertz, I agree. Mount, disagree. I think Mount was a good player.
He was. Emphasis was. 22-23 still happened.
So we agree.
Before that, yeah. Before I agree. But
all right, cool.
Loft at the right time.
Yeah. I didn't really have a problem with Mount leaving. I'll be real. Because, he didn't really want to stay. And he's not worth 250 grand a week, whatever it was.
No,
it was
fuck
stupid.
that.
He's not worth that. So Havertz, hated him. I'll never forget the City game. Was it the City game? Yeah, the City game when I hugged you after and I said, "Now I understand, mate. I get it." So yeah, I'm with you on that.
That meant a lot, by the way.
What's that, mate?
That meant a lot.
Yeah, it was a meaningful hug. What else? Oh yes, João Felix set to leave AC Milan at the end of the season.
No way. Who could have foreseen that coming? João Felix not delivering and not living up to expectations. Wow, at yet another club. Imagine how shocked I am to hear that.
Has anyone watched any of the games he's played for Milan?
He's shit, mate. He scored on his debut, started well like he always does. Bro, this guy's got Turkey or Saudi written all over him in 2 years' time.
Fenerbahce?
2 years. I'm happy for him to stay as depth. But personally, I think Scott had an amazing idea where we go to Galatasaray and be like, yo, you want a big name? Here you go. Here's João Felix.
Why? Why Galatasaray?
Turkey would work.
Oh, I thought you were going to bring up Osman or something like that.
Oh, no.
This
because he's on loan there, isn't he?
Yeah.
Look, Felix is just
off to Napoli. Fuck it.
Felix is just a letdown, and he's just a liability. Offers nothing.
I disagree, mate. He does offer something. He's just inconsistent. That's the problem. But Conference League's depth, he's a good player. Yeah, absolutely. Problem is, though, you don't have enough players.
£45 million on a player to play in the Conference League.
I mean, at least he's playing. At least he, when he signed for us, he played the next season. I mean, that's something. We didn't have to wait 2 years. That's a positive.
He'll be back for the Club World Cup.
He'll be back for the Club World Cup.
Yeah.
Yeah, mate. I don't know, man. I mean, David's fed up with Westview. I'm not going to lie to you, man. I wouldn't want to sit there. But East is worse. East is worse.
East and West, like I don't know, like nothing happens there.
Dave, he asked a good question as well. How can we join
because the whole hospitality?
It's all hospitality.
Exactly. The singing section?
Absolutely no idea.
Mate,
it's a Conference League games in it, so get a seat in Shed Upper.
Or just message We Are the Shed because they organise.
Yeah, We Are the Shed. They'll probably be able to help you out. But I spoke to a fan after who said it was the best. It was the best. Like they had the best time in the singing section. They said, like, honestly, mate, it was brilliant. That was great.
Right. The thing is, I seen some clips though, and it didn't look like all the people in the singing section were even singing.
I'll be honest, Charlie. I was regularly looking there. Like I couldn't hear it, but I could see it. They were giving it a good crack.
Oh,
You
no,
got to
I'm not
remember,
saying
there's
they
only
weren't
like
giving it a good crack.
120 of them.
No, I wasn't saying, no, absolutely, mate, it's a good thing. I wasn't saying they're giving it a good crack. I was just saying a few clips that I've seen circulating, it didn't seem like everyone was getting stuck in, but maybe that was just at that certain time that it was being recorded. But yeah, you could definitely see them going for it, but yeah, you couldn't hear anything.
Yeah. Boys, let's talk about tomorrow. Are you going, Lewis? Yeah, Charlie's going as well. You managed to get last minute. How did you get a ticket, Lewis?
He's got a season.
I still got high loyalty points.
Oh, you got it on your own one?
Yeah, I still got a decent amount of points.
How many points do you have?
I don't know. I haven't looked.
Fair.
I'll be so real. It's just if my mate can get it on my ticket or not. I was able to.
I'm with you.
Thank God.
God.
Because I actually I have a good feeling. I have a pretty optimistic
You have a good feeling for tomorrow.
Well, mate, the results have gone well for us again today. Bournemouth lost, Brighton and Man City drawing. So whatever happens tomorrow, we go into the international break in fourth. But it's another opportunity, to put.
If we win, we're 3 points off second.
Yeah, and we could go 4 points ahead of City as well with 9 games left. So this is another huge chance.
Yeah, Maresca out.
Chance. It's a big opportunity. Like, we can't afford to fuck this up.
Look, I'll be honest though. I don't see it happening. If it happens, fair fucking play. But the way we played in the past couple, man, we're not going to have another pot.
They literally don't have an attack.
Yeah, but we got Sanchez.
Hopefully they cancel each other out, innit?
Yeah, that should cancel it out, hopefully.
They have an attack that you could even potentially stop from getting to Sanchez.
Because who's going to play? It'll be Nwaneri,
Trossard, and Marino.
Probably, yeah. Because they can't even use Sterling. Not that they were using him much anyway, but they can't.
I would have loved Sterling to play against us. I would have loved that.
Same. But I'm not with that attack. We shouldn't really be conceding too many chances in general.
No,
let alone Sanchez.
No, I think we'd be all right. I mean, you put Fofana back in at centre back. Do you know what? This potentially right. This is the first time this season we'll actually see our first choice back four or our strongest back four on paper. James, Fofana, Colwell, Cucurella. Those four haven't started together once this season. And that's probably our strongest back four.
And add to that our best midfield because Lavia should be back.
Yeah, exactly. And Lavia, Caicedo and Enzo have only started 2 games together this season, all 3 of them. So, you got the potential to do that as well.
You think the Lavia will start?
Yes.
I wouldn't rule it out. I wouldn't be surprised. Last time no one expected him to start was Liverpool away, and he put him straight back in. The only issue is
and he was the best midfielder on the pitch while he was there too.
And the only issue is though, and I think we discussed this before. If you do play Lavia, you're forcing yourself into an early substitution because he's not going to play 90 minutes.
But then I think that's why you throw Reece James in the second half.
I don't know, man. I mean, I'd be happy with a 0-0. I'll be real. I'd take a draw. A draw is a great.
I'd take a draw, but
I just don't see it though, man. I mean, boys, if we do a predicted lineup for tomorrow, I'll put it on the screen as well. What are we going? We know that Sanchez is going to be in goal.
Well, it's already confirmed, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, we know that's going to happen, so we can put that in. So what are we going to say, guys?
Well, Cucurella, Fofana, Colwell. That picks itself.
You think Colwell will start for sure?
Yeah.
Yep, so starting back 2, isn't it?
Fofana.
And then I personally think it'll be Reece James at right back. Because Gusto's still not fit. He's not gonna. I'd be shocked if he played Chalobah there, so I'll go James.
He won't play Achimpong either.
No chance.
Oh hell no.
James on the right, and then what we're saying, Lavia with Caicedo.
No, I'd go Enzo. It'll be Enzo and Caicedo. I personally don't. The only way I could see Lavia starting is if he goes, because all three of them will play it. Because Enzo and Caicedo will definitely play. So the only way I could see all three of them starting is if Caicedo inverts from right back. Well, that means James is on the bench.
That's what
actually,
I think we see happening.
That's what I prefer that.
Yeah, that's what I think we see happening.
But
then I just can't see Reece James fit and available and the captain not starting away at Arsenal.
I could. Each of their own, innit? I understand, but like, I'm happy with James coming on in the second half. I
hear it. I hear it. But the only way Lavia starts is in this system because he won't leave out Enzo and Caicedo's definitely playing. Yeah. So that's the only way.
Caicedo and Enzo have been too good together as well. So I think you have to have all three of them in the team.
Yeah. I don't think I can remember Caicedo having a bad game when he inverts either. He's always been great.
No, he did it in 2 games. Did it at home against Aston
Villa. Spurs, he might have been a bit iffy.
It was okay. It was okay, but then we switched it at half time, didn't we? So and then that was all right. But we only switched it at half time because Lavia had to go off injured. But yeah, look, I wouldn't be against seeing that. I wouldn't be against seeing that. But if not, Lavia will be bench and James will start and it'll be Enzo and Caicedo. But yeah, I wouldn't mind this.
Okay, so we're going with pretty strong back four. To be fair, I'd say probably the strongest we could have. I actually think Caicedo as a inverting right back is stronger than James, just because of the fitness situation.
But then you don't invert Cucurella though. Is that maybe that's all right?
Cucurella is perfectly capable of not inverting though. Like he was
not saying he's not
on the pitch as well. Like last season. Yeah, he's fine. I trust Cucurella with that. So then we'll start on the left, guys. So we've got we've got George, we've got Sancho, Neto.
I'll be honest, it should be probably got here is Sancho's has not been good, but then Nkunku's been terrible as well. It's just who's going to be less shit out of Nkunku and Sancho, and I'd probably say it would be Sancho.
You can't have Nkunku.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, to be honest, neither of them deserve to start, but one of them's going to have to start.
I thought Sancho was poor as well against Copenhagen. The guy
he's been poor for weeks.
It has gone under the radar, mate. I have to be. It definitely has gone under the radar.
He's been poor all year.
Look at his stats haven't been that great.
No, bro. I wouldn't even say it's gone under the radar. Because, the last game was the first time he had a shot on target this year.
What?
Bro just does nothing.
Second half, he had a shot on target. It was his first one this year.
Oh, my God.
But the thing is, though, despite that, and this probably just goes to show you where we're at with Nkunku, I would still probably rather Sancho started over Nkunku.
I agree with that. Would you have Sancho on the left with
George on the right? Yeah. And
Neto down the middle. On the right then, because George has been pretty good on the left as well.
Switch. Yeah, I'd Sancho on the right.
But I think him and George both need to start. Tyreek George should be starting this game. If I see Nkunku start, if I'm seeing Nkunku and Sancho on wings, long day.
Plus, I'd love to see an evil Saka goal at the Emirates. That would be sensational.
So I'll go Sancho and George. That for me is what it should be.
Part of me thinks change something up against Arsenal, do something different, play Palmer on the right. I think Maresca's going to try and fit Nkunku in there just because he knows that's an experienced player. Not that he's going to perform well, but I think that's what Maresca's going to do. But he can't play him on the left. He'll play Neto up front.
Yeah,
he'll play Palmer. He'll play Sancho.
So now it's basically George or Nkunku.
And I think that, well, listen, if I was looking at this from the perspective of get the best out of each individual player, I'd play Nkunku in the 10, and I'd play Palmer on the right, George on the left, Sancho on the left, and Neto up top. And you could argue George over Sancho. I'm happy to have that debate. But I mean, apart from that, we've got sweet FA going on. We've got nothing. We're not going to start Wecker again, are we?
No, exactly. So it's Neto, Palmer, and then it's 2 from Sancho, George, and Nkunku. That's literally it.
Right. Okay. So where are we playing Palmer, guys? Are we going 10?
Palmer
I mean,
play
that's what
10. Yeah, he'll play 10.
Yeah.
Okay, and then Neto up front. So on the right, would we rather have Sancho or George? Or we've got Nkunku
I'd
in
rather
there as well.
Sancho right.
Sancho right, George left. But we all know it's going to be Nkunku and Sancho. It's going to be P.
Oh man, doesn't even have pace. That's what annoys me, mate. He doesn't even have pace.
Nkunku must be one of the most disappointing Chelsea signings in recent times from expectation compared to reality.
I think he's been poorly managed as well, mate. I do think he's been.
Yeah,
really
no,
poorly.
I can hear that. Obviously, the injury when he joined in that first pre-season didn't help. The emergence of Palmer was unexpected. The signing of Felix didn't help, although Felix is now not here currently. Nkunku's just been a massive disappointment. I know it's not all his own fault, but yeah, he's just been a huge disappointment and a real, and just like one of those where you're just like, wow, I was really excited for that signing, and it's just been a disaster.
The system. I don't even know if it's the system, mate. Like, I just think that the way Maresca's managed Nkunku has been poor. Like, he could have easily made Nkunku a key part of this project, and then I think that you would have had a player performing. We saw it in the Conference League matches. We saw it against Bournemouth coming off the bench. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say, "Oh, wow, he would have scored 20 goals," but Nkunku, we know he's a goal scorer. There's no doubt in my mind. There's an argument that he's the best finisher in our team. Because if you compare him to Palmer's done it over a year, Nkunku's done it year in, year out, year in, year out. Yeah, you can talk about leagues all you want, but we know he can score a goal. The problem is every other aspect of his game is just crap. His link up is poor. He's not strong.
I'll be real. Even his
leader.
finishing's disappointed me a bit.
Well, maybe this season, yes, but I again, I put that down to bad management, mate. I do.
Well,
I
how
think
is
he's
bad
obviously
management affecting his finishing?
Yeah, I'll be real. That's on him.
Bro, bad management's got nothing to do with his finishing.
It does, because it's all about confidence. It's about getting in the right areas, being fed. I mean, tell me many games
showing
this
your
season where
talent.
Nkunku's been fed.
It's about showing why you should be signed. This is why I say he's ghosted Conference League games. I just think he's been garbage.
He's just not offering anything to the team, you know.
I mean, in the Conference League, Nkunku scured loads of goals.
Yeah, sure, but
he's still been an absolute ghost. That's why I say the GNA argument's flawed.
Well, no, but that's the whole point, is that he scores. That's all I said. He's a goal scorer. He's not got the other parts to his game.
And also, like, I'm sure a good chunk of those been pens as well.
I don't think there has, mate.
There's been a few pens, but look, the point is that Nkunku is just not delivered for us.
Maybe a couple.
And you can put it down to whatever factors you want to put it down to. Reality is he's not delivered. And that can be, he's got to take responsibility for that as well. Sure, the system's not helped him. Sure, he's been unfortunate with injuries. Sure, he's been unfortunate with the emergence of Palmer. And there's a combination of factors. But he's the one going out on the pitch. He's got to take a large part of that responsibility as well for not delivering.
Yeah, no, 100%, man. And look, he's going to go. He's going to go. I'm just gutted that we never tried to make it work, because there's not many other players that we're going to sign within the caliber of what Nkunku was when we signed him. Very doubtful that we're going to get Gyökeres, mate. I think the lap is just staring at us in the face, waiting to happen when the teams get relegated. Is there a clause in his contract that, you know, he has to be sold for a certain price if they go down?
I don't think so.
No, City just have first refusal.
Well, City won't get him.
City won't sign him. He won't go and sit on the bench behind Haaland. No,
I think he'd probably turn down that move anyway. Yeah, he'll get paid more at Chelsea. He'll play. Him and Jackson would work so well together. Yeah, man, I'm disappointed, man. That's all I've got to say. Like, on the first game of the season against City, I remember when Nkunku was on the wing, and I just thought, what? I didn't get it at all. And I just think that we could have put Palmer there straight away, and the problem wouldn't have been there. Like, we could have just played the way that we knew how to play. Obviously adapting, but at the same time knowing what worked last season for us. So there you go. Let us know in the chat as well, guys. What do you think about Nkunku? See, Jordan says Nkunku never gives 100% on the pitch. It's the worst signing. We should have gone to Bayern Munich. He wasn't worth 70 million to get rid of him. What else?
I forgot about that. I forgot we wanted 70 mil from in January. Fuck's sake.
Varner says it's going to be Nkunku as a number 9.
No, it won't be.
Neto. EPL says he's not showing any enthusiasm. He's not interested. Kennel says he doesn't apply himself in matches. It's true. I mean, how many players within the squad that we've got now would you say we have any form of an attitude problem with at the moment? Because I would say
I don't think we've got any. I don't think we've got any attitude problems in the squad. I'm not noticing.
I'd say Sancho's mentality is weak.
Who?
I don't know.
Sancho.
I think it's still out there, but like I can hear why you say that.
Well, I mean, we're just talking about Nkunku not giving 100%. I didn't see 100% from Sancho against Copenhagen. I didn't see him fighting for 50-50s. I didn't see him.
Bro, I didn't see 100% from anybody who started that game bar Achimpong and George.
Achimpong. Yeah, George was good, actually. He was really good. I mean, I'd love to see George.
Game, I don't think I've seen a game with less effort from a starting 11 than that one. And I've seen friendly games with like more.
It's because we just didn't want it.
Everyone just didn't want to be there. It was like, let's just get this shit over with.
They also didn't want to get injured ahead of Arsenal as well.
Mm-hmm. Everyone played with that game in mind. It was just, look, let's just keep this game as safe as possible.
If there was no game on the weekend, you probably would have seen something totally different.
Yeah, completely agree.
Sancho's just an Instagram fighter. I like that one. Right, what are we going score predictions, guys? What are we going? I mean, Arsenal's got a lot of players out. So are we 100% sure Marino's up front? Is that what they've been doing?
That's what I've been doing, yeah.
Well, that shouldn't be too much of a problem. And someone commented earlier that Martinelli's back from injury.
Martinelli, but he won't start.
Yeah, I was expecting to be bench.
Okay,
and if he does start, we have Fofana to deal with him.
Okay.
Plus, it's fucking Martinelli. Like,
What's our record like at Arsenal in the recent?
We haven't won there since 2021.
Yep.
Was that Lampard?
No, that was Tuchel after the Champions League. Lukaku and James. We haven't beaten Arsenal full stop since 2021.
Damn.
It's not been good.
No, it's not good.
No,
okay, well, that's our lineup there. 2-2, Varner's saying.
I think it'll be 1-1. I don't think there's many goals in this game. We're not scoring that many goals at the moment. They're not scoring a lot of goals. I think it'll be 1-1.
Sanchez is in goal, 3-1 to Arsenal. I'll be real, like, oh, God. Judging by the lineup I've seen, we've got Fofana back. I have a little bit of confidence from that. I have confidence having Caicedo in there as well. Cucurella. It's a pretty strong defense. I'm saying 2-1 Arsenal. 2-1 Arsenal.
I'm saying 2-1 Chelsea. We can definitely. I'd be tempted to say 2-0 if it weren't for the fact that Sanchez was in goal. But I really don't think they're gonna have a lot for us going forward.
No, you wouldn't think so. But could you imagine, right? The backlash and how bad it's going to be if Sanchez makes a mistake tomorrow and costs us the game.
I'll fight Maresca in the car park.
Lewis, what I don't understand is how can you trust a manager who doesn't even know which goalkeeper to pick?
Well, I suspect that he's been told.
Because we're in the top 4. I'd ask you the same things with Poch this time last season when we were 9th and 10th.
But he did pick the right goalkeeper.
Well, we were 9th and 10th.
But we finished
12th
the season before.
The goalkeeper.
With a different squad.
6th from 12.
With a completely different squad.
A much worse squad.
But a different squad.
Okay.
And we were patient with him while he was 9th and 10th, but Maresca's 4th.
Yeah, but we just finished 12th.
With a different squad. We knew we improved on the squad before the season had even started.
So the expectation has to be higher.
Top 4, yes. And he had us 9th and 10th, but we were saying give him time and everything. Maresca has us 4th. We could be 3 points. We could be 3 points off third if we win. God
I
willing,
have
we
no
win.
idea how. I mean, I'm here for it, but I'm not
Do you
convinced
know
by him.
why?
I'll be
Because
honest with you.
Maresca's first half of the season showed me more than Poch ever did last season, which is why he has faith in me. He actually
Maresca
showed
had
me
a
a
good
longer
start.
run
He did have
of
a good
form.
start, mate.
And what we've had with the last couple of months has also come down to actually key injuries. Lavia Fofana's killed our aggression. It's killed our physicality, especially losing Jackson as well. And we can't play high up without Fofana. Why we knew he was out all of last season and we didn't get somebody that has his pace in the back line is so ridiculously dumb. But in spite of all of that, we're still fourth. We're still fourth. Like our last 5 games, we've conceded 2 goals. Both goals have come down to individual errors. Sanchez dropping the ball against Wolves and Colwell passing the ball to Bowen. Bar that, we've conceded no goals in our last 5 home games.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't blame Maresca for Colwell's mistake, but every game
I said
where
if this league had their shit together, we'd be 8th right now. If the league had their shit together last season, we wouldn't even be in the Conference League. We would have finished 9th.
Yeah.
You talk
But
about
we won
last year.
5 games in a row, so it was like everything was forgiven.
Do you
All
think
I'm
we're gonna
saying
finish
is that Maresca's done a lot more to deserve patience.
Has he?
He definitely has. He's shown me a lot more this season than Poch did by this point last season.
You know, you make good points. You make good points, but you can counter those points quite easily. You talk about the good start he's had. That's carrying the momentum from last season.
No,
Talking
it's
about
not.
the injuries that you had. We had worse injury problems last season.
Yeah, and
I mean,
why?
the league's worse than it was last season.
Why? Because we were doing GACON tests every day and then playing a high pressing system.
Lavia's out. Fofana's been out. James has been injured. Even with
they've
one
been
game
injured under multiple managers.
And those are the players that we were told was the difference between us being 9th and 10th and 4th. They've been out and we're still 4th. So,
but we're dropping. We've been dropping, Lewis, in 2025. It's been fucking boring.
no, yeah, it has
You can't
been.
kid yourself.
Okay, yeah, it's been boring. We're 4th.
But we are doing better this season than we were comparatively at this point last season. That's the point.
If we finish in the Champions League, I take my hat off to Maresca. I really do. I take my hat off to him. I say fair play. But I'm just saying how I'm seeing it now because I'm not going down the road.
I don't know how you saw more last season to get behind than this. That's what confuses me.
But Lewis, it's context. Context is everything. Context is absolutely everything.
No, and I agree. I completely agree.
You know, we had a.
You know me. I was the context king last season. I had to do how much debunking?
Sorry, mate.
I'm the context king, bro. I'm with you. Like I had to do like how much debunking last season for the whole give him time and everything. I'm happy to hear context, but the context to me still says he deserves a bit more time.
Yeah, I mean, my stance on it is that listen, Maresca's done some good things. He's done some things that really fucked me off as well.
Me too. Me too. He has not been perfect. I'm not saying he's been perfect either, by the way.
I mean, you weigh these things up and you say, okay, cool. Because the system itself, in theory, you'd say, okay, that system works really well. It's a nice system. But then I look at what we had last season and I look at what we're bringing in and I see the type of football we're trying to play. If we play that system, that possession, whatever you want to call it, Guardiola, tiki-taka, you need top players. You need top players. It's a difficult system, mate. So
we're saying recruitment's been the bigger problem.
Oh, recruitment's been fucking shit. 100%.
And I think that's where our biggest problem is. We haven't improved on the team from last season.
But I think what was worse is the fact that we haven't built with anything. We haven't built with anyone. We might as well just kept Potter. Let's be honest. We might as well just fucking kept him.
They kept Potter over Poch. I hear that.
You know, we'll never know what would have happened, but I can't get behind a project that can't get behind themselves. They bring in one manager, they bring in a new one, they bring in another one. They got
this is why, regardless, the manager needs to stay next season.
And you have to admit, Lewis,
and it seems like he will too, even according to the briefings. They're saying if we don't make UCL, it's not going to be satisfactory, but it won't be a fatal move for Maresca. So, aka, he's going to stay regardless.
I think he should stay regardless anyway, and that's not me accepting that. I think he should stay because we can't afford to start again. And the other thing is, right, can you imagine what the shortlist would be like this time round? when the shortlist last time was Maresca, Thomas Frank, and Kieran McKenna. Can you
I
imagine
hear
what
Frank
Frank
Lampard's doing well.
It'll be McKenna.
This is the point, you know. So people, if there was a guarantee, right, you could get a top class manager, and Maresca had to go at the end of the season, I would probably accept that. But we know that's not happening, and at some point, we've got to get to a situation where we actually stick with a manager, regardless of what happens. Obviously, we finish bottom half or whatever, then that's a different conversation. But if we get Europe and it's not Champions League, bitterly disappointing and would be a failure of the season. But we should be sticking by this manager. If this is the guy you believe and you've given him a 5-year contract, you need to stick by him. You can't just dispose of him after one season.
Yeah, and I'd also like to say, like, in the whole Clear Lake era, there's only been one manager that's had fans thinking of a title race. There's been Maresca, and that was this season.
Again, if he was in the first season, Lewis, it wouldn't be like that. You know that. Come on, mate. We could have had Mourinho or Guardiola in our first season. We would have fucked up.
What do you mean?
You're saying that Maresca is the only manager who's had that, made fans have that conversation or that thought. If he was here in the first season, we would have never had that thought. Or last season, even, we wouldn't have had that thought.
And I also believe if Poch was here this season, we wouldn't have had that thought either. Like, he's gone and improved and got more out of this team and more out of these players. No. In spite of having the same key players out for extended periods that we had last season. It's just, it was a much bigger range as well because we were losing practically everybody on top of it.
For me, listen, again, I'm not going to sit. Like, I know Maresca's not going to go. I know he isn't. Even if we don't finish in the Champions League. And I agree with Charlie. He shouldn't go, in a way, just to bring some stability to the ship. So even though I slate the guy, and I will continue to slate him if I don't agree with what he's doing, then, yeah, that's fine. But he should stay for the reason of stability, because it is in the best interest of this club to have some stability. I just think that we've signed a guy who's got no fucking experience. I'm sorry. We've signed a championship manager and we're expecting to be this ready-made manager. Like, it's not his fault.
That is ready-made.
Who he is.
I don't think anyone's expected him to be ready-made. Yeah, I don't think anyone's expected him to be ready-made.
And we did that with Lampard.
No, but we shouldn't have hired him in the first place, Charlie. It shouldn't have even been a conversation.
Sure, but that's a different conversation, though.
Well, we're just talking about Maresca, so that's my thoughts on it. I mean, fuck it. I mean,
really, if you
I hope we get a result against Arsenal. I just don't see it.
If we're going down that road, we shouldn't have hired Maresca. Well, we shouldn't have hired any of the managers we've hired under this ownership, really.
Well, no, you're right. You're absolutely. We should have just kept Tuchel. I mean, that would have been great. But Tuchel would never fit into the type of project we're trying to build.
I haven't got an issue with Tuchel going. If he didn't fit into the project, don't fit into the project, and we move on. Can you admit that our project lacks ambition? Can you say that? No, I don't think it lacks ambition. No, I just think
sporting directors lack ambition and the owners.
But why? Why did they lack ambition?
It depends what you're basing ambition on. They don't lack
money. Messages
they don't lack ambition. They don't lack ambition to spend money. If you're talking about ambition in terms of spending money, they absolutely don't. If you're talking about lacking ambition in terms of going for proven, ready-made players,
but why do they spend the money, Charlie? Why do they spend the money?
Because they're trying to improve the team, and they are.
No, they spend the money because they want to make money. That's why they spend money. They don't spend money to then not see it ever come back. Why did they buy Nkunku then? What, for the benefit of the team? Is that why they're buying bloody?
There's first team options and there's flippable options. That's what I believe.
That's all it is.
And in spite of that, everyone has a price tag.
That's not the Chelsea that I know, mate. That's not. I'm sorry.
Well, we were blessed to have an owner who just didn't give a shit about.
But what I would say is, right, we did this under Roman. Remember the loan army? Look how many young players we signed in the loan army. There was like 40, 50 players out on loan when the rules were different, right?
But we don't counteract that with any experience.
No, let me finish. No one said anything about that because we were winning. And that's a big experience. But that's a big thing. If we were winning, No one's saying anything about signing Isugu. No one's saying anything about Quenda. No one's saying anything about these random Brazilian kids if we're winning. And this is my point, right? Is that this is only an issue for people because we're not winning. If we were winning trophies, would anyone have a problem with these young players being signed? No one would care.
But we're not.
No, I know. But the point I'm making is that this issue is only being raised because we're not winning. If we start winning, no one's gonna care about what youngsters come to the club.
I mean, I hope you're right, but I mean, is Conference League winning?
Well,
No.
it's winning. It's winning to a degree, but it's not the winning that we aspire to get to. But we're in that competition. Let's win it and let's use it as a stepping stone and move on to the next one.
Look, if we win the Conference League, I think it's a good stepping stone for the team to actually learn how to win something.
But exactly, it's so important. It's so important.
I'm with you on that.
It's not forget the fact that it's the Conference League, right? Winning a trophy for this group of players, the first under this ownership, first under this manager, and first for a lot of these players at Chelsea, but also their careers. That's more important than the actual. Forget the trophy itself. Think about what winning that competition will do for these players and this group of coaching staff and whatnot. That's the more important thing here, rather than the actual trophy itself.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we want to win the trophy, but I know what you mean.
No,
yeah, it's good to have that mentality.
Yeah, exactly. Remember, no one gave a shit about the League Cup. Mourinho come in first season, prioritised that League Cup, and so many players in that squad now have said that League Cup bred that winning mentality. We got a taste for winning, and it drove us on. Don't underestimate the importance of getting the first trophy on the board, and whatever that trophy is, it doesn't matter. Just get it done.
No, I'm with you on that. I'm absolutely with you. Listen, if we win the Conference League and we get forget top 4, if we get top 5 and we get Champions League, then I'm happy.
Good season.
I'm happy, mate. But I'm not going to sit here and say that I have confidence that we're going to do it. And if we do it, it's because other teams keep dropping points, not because we're great. And I don't know how many points we're on. At the moment.
But both things can be true, though. We can do it because we've picked up enough points. That will be true. But then it can also be true that other teams have dropped points, which has allowed us through the front door. We're not going to finish. If we get Champions League football, it's not because everyone else has been shit. We've picked up the points to do it. And because other teams have struggled, it's enabled us to get there. So both things can be true. We can still get the points and get there. We've been there. Exactly. We've been there pretty much all season. So both things can be true. We can be there on merit, but we can also be there because other teams have dropped points as well.
Yeah, but I hope we do it. I really do. And I won't shave my head in respect to Maresca, but I'll take my hat off to him. So I will take my hat off to him. And then I hope that we can build. I hope we can build this team. I mean, look, for me, a few different priorities that I'm looking for. Get the goalkeeper right, number one. To be honest with you,
I'll just take
improve the style of play from an entertainment perspective. It's so important for match-going fans to have entertaining football. I can't describe how boring it's been over the past couple of weeks. And number 3, obviously, get results, win.
It wouldn't be this boring without Jackson, Lavia, and Fofana back. I'll say that.
It's true.
That's
it's
why
true.
Like having these profiles like Isugu come in isn't a problem for me. We need the midfield depth.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. What's Jordan saying? Jordan said, if we win the Conference League, we don't get top 4. If we keep using Sanchez, there will be questions with Maresca and possibly be sacked. I wouldn't be surprised. He won't be sacked, mate. It won't happen.
No,
he won't be sacked. But he should be sacked. If he doesn't get Champions League, he should be sacked, in my opinion. But he won't be. And I accept that he won't be. But I'm still going to say he should be. I'm still going to complain. So we'll see what happens there. Quenda is playing as a left winger right now. I thought he was a right winger.
No, he can play both sides, but Chelsea's plans to use him on the left.
Right, I'm with you. I'm with you. Okay. So I thought he was a wing back as well.
No, he played as a wing back under Amorim because of the system. But the main reason he joined Chelsea was because of the chance to play as a winger. At United, he would have played as a wing back. He doesn't want to play as a wing back.
I didn't know that, to be fair. Lewis, did you block Varna? What happened there?
I don't even know if it was me or a mod. I don't know. It
Mods
depends
do
on
that.
what was said. I have to check my.
I don't know how all this mod stuff works.
You just literally right click on someone, you can add them as a mod, and they just control the chat. Basically, you can just block people and delete comments and shit.
Oh yeah, there he is.
What, on StreamYard?
Yeah.
Nah.
No, maybe you got to do it on YouTube, but it's very
gotta
easy.
go on
You like right click it or something. But yeah, anyway, yeah, it's easy to add mods.
Judone, thanks for the super chat. He says it's boring because we're not winning. Well, we are winning, and it's still boring though, isn't it? So I think that it can be boring even if you are winning. But you're right. If you continuously win, then obviously you have that momentum that we had at Tottenham, at Southampton, all those games, which is gone. We were riding high. I mean, I was shameless in December. I was shameless. I was on the we're going to win the league train.
Mate, I remember we sat in the studio, us three, and maybe someone else was there as well. And you were on that title train. You were loving it. And me and Lewis let you have your moment, but we weren't getting sucked in. And now we've come crashing back down to reality.
Mate, this is who we are, mate. This is who we are. In my Italian accent. Thanks for the super chat, mate. Really appreciate it. I don't know, man. Listen, I thought it was going to happen. I thought, oh, fucking hell, we could do it. We're going to catch, especially the way we played at Anfield. Like, we outplayed Liverpool when we went there.
Yeah,
I thought to myself, you know what? Change the goalkeeper, and you have a genuine fucking team here. Then we had the injuries, and that obviously fucked us up. And then losing Jackson and Guiu as well has been like a massive disaster. But I'm glad that we've seen Neto play in that 9 position. Like, we know we've got an option there if we need to. I think we've missed Mudryk as well, as much as people don't talk about it. I think Mudryk was a great impact player and a great rotation option as well.
No, he wasn't.
What?
He was good. He was good potential, but if it weren't the Conference League, he was straight cheeks.
He had a couple of games.
He was a good pass every now and then, and that was.
I remember, was it Arsenal? He come on and he caused quite a few problems in the home game.
How many men got blocked? Fucking hell!
Lewis, you're blocking a lot of people, man. What's going on?
It's not even me, it's the mod. So you know what? I bet too many of you man were spoiling goals on the watch-alongs and someone just blocked you. It might have been one or the other. But I'll have a look. I'm having a look now. Bare fucking names in there.
Lewis got sensitive mods, man. I ain't even say shit.
That's great. Unless you got spoiled a goal, I don't know what it could be.
To be fair, Lewis, I'm not gonna lie. I don't go on your channel much, but when I have seen that, and when people disagree in your chat, it gets pretty heated. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it always does. It always does, but it never really leads to a block thing unless man get disrespectful. Or I don't know, some mod gets in his feelings. Maybe one or the other.
Have you had any drama recently on the channel? Like
no, it's been relatively calm, to be honest.
Really, nothing. Have you had anything that's compared to Steve's rant?
No. It's been a minute. It's been a minute since that, thankfully. Actually, no, we had CB v Jimmy a couple weeks ago. That was crazy. That went on for like 30 minutes after the Brighton game.
See who?
CB.
I don't know who.
Oh, yeah, you haven't seen a lot of CB. He's a good guy. He's a good content creator.
I know. I know. Don said this. Oh, Strasbourg Steve. It's Strasbourg Steve, right?
Yeah, Steve's still about.
Don, was it Strasbourg Steve? Does he go on Don's channel as well?
Sometimes.
Mate, Don said to me that Strasbourg Steve wants to have a debate with me about whether the Chelsea owners are trying to Americanize football and whether that's a good thing or not. I was like, obviously they want to fucking do that. Like, why wouldn't they? And also, how is Americanizing football a good thing?
Do you know what Americanizing is?
Well, to push prices up, to make it like American sport.
But like they're doing all that shit in England anyway.
Price is going to go up regardless.
That's the point. But they're accelerating that process, aren't they? I mean,
but it's not Americanizing. It's just raising prices.
Nah, it's Americanizing it. Let's be honest. Let's be
It's
honest.
not-
30%
it's-
increase
in
on
England too,
hospitality.
that's the
Pricing
point.
has got nothing to do with Americanizing. Prices, regardless of who owns the football clubs, are going up. Whoever's in charge.
Yeah.
Mate,
That's just
they are
happening.
they're trying to Americanize the league. They're trying to Americanize Chelsea. You can't tell me that's not true. Bowley suggested every team in the Premier League should get shares just for taking part. The only reason they get shares is so they could get paid a dividend every year. That's the only reason they do it. It's clearly Americanizing.
Well, I would hear it
Nah, I
more.
don't know. I'll be real.
I would hear it more if it was halftime shows. If they were trying to get no relegation and all that bullshit. It is what it is, isn't it? And it's not changing. There we go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Well, listen, guys. Listen, we'll wrap up there. But appreciate your time, guys. Thanks for jumping on. We've got over 120 people in there.
Make sure you're
there
hitting
you
the
go.
likes, guys.
What an all-star game, Lewis. What are you talking about?
That would have been
a great idea.
Yeah, All-Star game was a
Come
good
on,
idea. All-Star game would have been a
I'd
good
have
idea.
fucked the DJ
When
off,
are you
but
gonna
like an
play it?
all-star
When are you
game,
gonna play
I'd
it?
back that.
It'd been a pre-season or something. All-Star game would be good.
Oh, God.
An All-Star game is not a bad idea, but yeah.
Well,
anyway.
what would be
What are
wrong
you
with that
gonna
as a
do?
charity
What are
friendly?
you
I'd
gonna
rather
do
that
when
over the
Barber
Shield.
plays in the All-Star game and gets injured? What are you going to do then?
The same thing like what happens if he plays an England friendly and gets injured. Same shit.
But England friend. I mean,
I mean,
I
you think
agree
these
with
men
that
are
as
going to
well.
play this
They should
game
get
at
rid of the
100%
Nations League.
intensity? They play that game at like 40%.
Say that again.
They play that game at like 40% intensity. They wouldn't play that with any seriousness. Who cares
True.
about
I
an
do
all-star
think-
game? I actually think that'd be a pretty fun thing.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind North versus South.
I mean, I'm
All-Star
not.
game.
I'm not
It'll be
sitting here saying I
decent.
wouldn't go because I probably would.
Well,
Yeah,
exactly.
I'd probably
go.
watch it. Of course,
It's
I
not
would.
a bad thing.
But nah, I don't know, man. I just think there's too many games as it is. I think that they need to get rid of the Nations League. A lot of the England friendlies as well.
Yeah, but like those are all competitive. Like an all-star game would just be like, look, just fuck about on the pitch. I don't care.
Yeah. Well, listen, guys, smash the like button if you haven't already. Really appreciate you jumping on as well. Let's see if we can get over 120 likes on the video. Subscribe to Lewis and Charlie as well if you haven't already. And we'll be back with another stream maybe tomorrow morning. Yeah, fuck it. I'll probably do one in the morning.
Well, even though it's a 1:30 kickoff.
Charlie, mate, I'm here for it. I'll do what time should I do it? I'll do a 9:30 stream. I'll do a 9:30 stream. 9:30 in the morning. Hold me to it, boys. Hold me to it. I'm going 9:30 to 10:30. Kev's dropping by my house at 10:30. He's driving down from Stoke, and then we're going up to Arsenal. Although I don't think I'll drive. I think I'll just get the train because I want to watch the cup final as well in the pub. I don't want to wait. So there you go. Big up to everyone, and we'll catch up very, very soon. Up the Chelsea, and we'll see what happens against Arsenal.